Greetings, YouTube. My new street glasses. Take a good look because I have to take them off. Can't really read the computer easily with those. These are my computer glasses. Today I'll be talking about solitary confinement. Now, I've discussed solitary confinement before. And solitary confinement is used in America to a degree that is torture. Not metaphoric torture, but actual torture. According to the Human Rights Commission from the United Nations, if you keep a person in solitary confinement for more than 15 days, it constitutes torture. And we have people who don't just spend weeks in solitary or months in solitary or years in solitary, but decades of being in a cell, usually about 6 by 8, for 20 to 23 hours a day, where you get let out at someone else's discretion. And when you're in your cell, you have nothing. Nothing. You do nothing. For hour after hour after hour, day after day, week after week, year after year. You do nothing. Think about that for a second. I don't care how solitary you think you are. I don't care if you have self-diagnosed yourself as some isolated loner that doesn't need human contact. You have the option. I personally have stayed in my house for a week. Didn't bat an eye. But I had my computer. At the time, I had my television. Back then, I watched quite a bit of it. I had a constant stream of data flowing into my brain through books and comics, television shows, and internet access. I sit at my computer for 5-6 hours a day, watching YouTube videos, listening to ASMR stuff, listening to playthroughs, listening to whale songs once in a blue moon, and Buddha Tribe, which has some wonderful trance-like music on it. And it's all my choice. I have cats to occupy me. Sometimes they don't give me an option. I'm never really alone. If I want to, I walk outside. And I can walk around the block. I can see things. I can hop in my car and go anywhere I want. All at my discretion. But if you're in solitary, you're stuck. I'm going to quote somebody here. Many didn't look back at all. They had been deformed by the deficit of stimuli, the utter lack of change, the complete removal from the world. William Blake, who has spent more than 27 years in solitary New York State, wrote in an essay for the Yale Law Journal's Prison Law Writing Contest. You probably think that you'd understand boredom, know its feel, but really you don't. I felt boredom and loneliness to such a degree that it seemed to be a physical thing inside, so thick it felt like it was choking me, trying to squeeze the sanity from my mind, the spirit from my soul. And as the person that quoted this text wrote, it's the stuff of nightmares. And it is the stuff of nightmares. It's the stuff of torture. It's the stuff of cruel and inhuman punishment in its most clearly defined parameters. And yet America excels at this. Also, solitary confinement is more expensive than keeping people in general population, just as putting people on death row is more expensive than keeping them in general populations for a life sentence. But America loves to punish people. And as someone else in this Penafilter comment said, what a shock that a nation of people that believe that in punishment for eternal damnation have created a system that is punishment of eternal damnation in life. And as snark aside, a whole lot of Christians run our prison system. They believe in damnation in the afterlife, and they believe in damnation in this life. And they're turning people into the damned. Doesn't matter what you've done. You don't deserve to be stuck in a cell alone for weeks and months and years and decades. How you treat the least powerful in society is a measure of that culture's worth, a measure of that society's value. And the way we treat children and the elderly and the handicapped and the sick and the confined in America is an indictment of our nation. It is a weeping, seeping wound in our society's soul. But we turn a blind eye to it. And we shut it behind a steel door. And we only open it for an hour.